Hello, and today we're learning about a time called the transfiguration. Jesus takes some of his friends up to the mountain to pray. As near the top, he walks on ahead and something amazing happens. He turns this bright white colour, showing some of the glory of God in a way the disciples have never seen before. And even more amazing, two of Jesus' friends, Moses and Elijah, characters that the disciples would have known well from their time in the temple, they appear and they come and talk to Jesus. And to make it even more incredible, God the Father audibly speaks and says, "This is my Son, whom I love, listen to him." The disciples were amazed and wowed, and they didn't want this time to stop. Maybe it gave them a real glimpse into who Jesus was and how amazing it was to be the Son of God. Now, to remind us today about this, we're going to make our own little transfigured figure. So to do this, you need some black or some dark card, some greaseproof or tracing paper, or you could use some tissue, and then a pencil. I've got a white crayon just so you can see what I'm doing for filming, but you just really need a pencil, some sellotape and scissors, and either a torch or a lamp or even a window so you can see the full effect of what you've done. Now, step one, you need to draw and cut out a stick man in the middle of the black card. Then you need to cut a strip off the edge of that same piece of card. So here we go. Let's see if my stick man could be better than Hayden's. He was talking last week that his had different sized arms and legs. Here we go. So far, so good. There we go. Oh, I don't know, Hayden. I think mine might be a bit wobbly too. And a body and some legs. Here we go. There's one. And there's two. So the next step is we need to cut this out. So I'm just going to very carefully push my scissors into the middle of the man, because I don't want a line in the card to the man to where I cut out, but I don't need this bit of man, so he can be a bit ripped up. Okay. Here we go. From the head onto the arm. Now obviously I'm doing this really quickly, but if you've got a bit more time, you could maybe draw something a little bit fancier than a stick man. You could have a really good go at drawing the silhouette of Jesus. And I guess if you wanted to just remind you of Transfiguration but not pretending it was Jesus, you could also draw a stick woman if you wanted. Right, here we go. Nearly done. So the last bit of step one, I just want to cut a strip off the end just like this, and actually I'm going to cut that strip in half. We're going to use this later. Okay, step one done. Step two. Now we're going to trace around that stick man on our greaseproof paper. I don't want to trace exactly. I want to sort of leave a bit of space around the edge, because if I leave too much space, then it doesn't sit nicely when you stick it. But if you leave too little space, then it won't stick on. So I'm kind of trying to leave about 1/2 centimetre round the edge of the man. And then I'm going to cut this out next. Here we go. I drew my man just the right size for the paper I've got. Now if you've got a church craft kit, the greaseproof paper and the black card will already be in there, and you should hopefully still have your sellotape, because we haven't used tons of that this time. Right, okay. This is the last craft while I'm thinking about it from this craft kit, so I'm currently planning and resourcing the next kit. So maybe if you don't have a craft kit at the moment, there's no age limit on these kits. So if you don't have a craft kit at the moment and you'd like one, please message me and let me know. And we can sort that for next time. Here we go. Nearly there now. Cut this little bit out. Okay, so that is step 2 done. On to step 3. We need to use sellotape to stick the grease-proof man over the stickman hole. We're going to stick the strips on after that. So this is our next step. So I've found the end of my sellotape. I'm going to just quickly put some strips on the edge of my table because that will make this a bit speedier. You might have one of those fancy sellotape machines at home that you can tear it off with, but I don't have one of those, so I shall live with sticking sellotape on my table instead. Here we go. So what you need to do, can you see this? You just need to use the sellotape to stick the man to the card, and this is where it's really important that you haven't left too big a gap, because otherwise when we turn this round he won't curl nicely with the card. And cut a bit more tape. There we go. Hopefully this will get us most of the way there. You see where cutting out a whole load of tape and then sticking it on does make things a little bit quicker. And the last one, I hope. Right, yep. Okay, so hopefully you should have something a bit like this now, but this doesn't stand up very well. So our last step involves making this stand up. So I'm going to use 4 more bits of tape and those 2 strips that we cut off earlier. So I'm going to start on one side just by sellotaping those 2 strips just like this, and then I'm going to tape them to the other side next. So I'm going to put my sellotape just so the sticky bit's facing up. Oh no, is it facing up or facing down? No, facing down. That's it. So the stick is this side, and then I'm going to curl that in and do the same here. Now you'll then have, if I just pinch the card at the ends, a transfigured man. Now he looks okay at the moment, but not amazing. But if you put a light through it, you might be able to see something of what the disciples saw on that day when they saw Jesus transfigured, how amazingly white, bright and shiny he was. And it's the day that the disciples really realised how amazing Jesus, the Son of God, was.